Speaking of prospect fatigue, let's talk about Keon Coleman. This
hmm
is a guy early in the season. Once we saw a couple games of him, right? Like it was, all right, he's top 15 player. I think I was quoted on the show a couple times saying that he's probably a top 15, top 20 player in this NFL draft. I I still think he's a really, really, really good talent. Right? I understand the drawbacks that people have on Keon Coleman, but also when you look at him, man, he is absolutely elite hands. Like elite hands. Great jump ball receiver, insane body control, unreal athlete. The list goes on and on, right? Keon Coleman is a very good football player. Will he go in the first round? I am not sure. I'm not sure. I do think he would fit really well with some of those teams at the end of the first round. I think a team could definitely take a shot on him for sure. When I say taking a shot, I mean like he had no drops, I think, in his entire collegiate career. He was a basketball player, man. Like, dude, he is so good, man, at football. And I'm inclined to give him a first round grade, but I don't think he goes in the first round. I think it's the prospect fatigue that's kind of like the steam that on Keon Coleman, I think, has kind of died down. And I kind of fail a little bit to understand why. Um, yeah, when you look at the stats, you're like, it's not like he blew up the stat books, right? Like it's not like he had like Malik Neighbors numbers or Roma Dunze numbers, but like if you put on the film, man, he is so good, man. He's so good. He moves pretty decent. I mean, I don't know. He's gigantic. He's absolutely shredded, unreal athlete. I have a lot of good things to say about Keon Coleman. So I'm inclined to give him a first round grade, but I don't think he'll go in the first round because of that prospect fatigue.
Yeah, it's to me, I like you said, I believe he's a first round pick. Like I remember watching with my own eyes, and that's where you get into this process where it's like you almost get into like yeah, like process fatigue. Or it's like you watch the when I'm watching him tear up against LSU or tear up against the ACC, I'm watching as a college football lens. I'm like, this guy is great, right? Like I would do anything to have him on my team, stuff like that, right? But like then you get into scouts like, oh, like you're looking for reasons to nitpick and to get a part of him, and you're like, oh well, I mean, N'Keal Harry, came out a couple years ago and similar type of guy and like big bodied receiver that just dominated the Pac-12, and he was terrible. And it's like you get these heads and then you see runs a 4.6 or whatever he ran 40-yard dash, and it's like whatever. But again, I think people are just like you said, forgetting the film, forgetting that his like stuff he has. Why are people so high on him and not and why are people so high on Roma Dunze for his like contested catch stuff and all that and his like
Well,
surefire hands and great.
Dunze ran better. That was it.
Yeah, well, exactly. But so my point is like I don't know see much of a difference between the ability and the attributes that you love about Roma Dunze and the things that Keon Coleman excels at. And now he also returned fucking punts. He returned punts at 6'4". Like that's crazy. Yet the athlete that he was in college was ridiculous. And I know he had the injury, which set him back, I think, and that also partially hurt his stock. And I also do think if they made the playoffs, right, and Travis was healthy, right, and he was just dominating, right, against NFL corners, against whoever he was playing, like it would have mattered. That stuff would have mattered. And I guess it obviously hurt him, didn't end the way he wanted to. But there's a time,
Well,
like you said,
that's what I believe helped AD Mitchell. That's what I
yep,
believe helped Xavier Worthy. Roma Dunze is better than Keon Coleman. Okay,
yep, I agree.
let's not have that debate. Okay, like Roma Dunze, I know the skill sets are similar. Okay, but Roma Dunze is a more polished, better player than Keon Coleman as of right now. But the athleticism and the mold for an absolute freak is right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting, right? Like I like Keon Coleman, and we've had him in some mocks going at the end of the first round. And if I'm the Bills and AD Mitchell's gone, and you've got guys that you really like on your wide receiver board that are gone, but you're like hell bent on getting a wide receiver for Josh Allen, Keon Coleman's not a bad idea, not at all, right? Like, give me him over Troy Franklin 10 times out of 10. So I don't, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised when Keon Coleman carves out a really nice role in the NFL.